Your net worth is usually determined by what remains after your bad habits are subtracted from your good ones. Benjamin Franklin. Well, my friends, a big down day in the markets. Our trades didn't go so well today, but that's what happens sometimes. That's all right. We cut our losses as the day went south on us. We can see what's going on the S&P 500. We are still, of course, at a positive 15. We're still green. But of course, we hit our loss limit there at 1.41% down, and we pulled our trade on the S&P. We do have a bit of a pullback underway. We can see after all these green up candles pushing through the 200 EMA, even on this 2-day chart, which is still in the green, just starting the week off down. Same on the weekly. We have a green spinning top after several weeks of up movement, bouncing off, of course, the 200 EMA on this weekly chart, which is still in the green too. We'll see how the market recovers as we get further in the week. By the way, do not forget, Patreon members, we have a live Q&A this Wednesday. Hope you can join us. If you're not a Patreon member yet and would like to join us, then sign up. Follow the link in the show notes, or just go to Patreon and put in Charting Wealth. Now, as things went south on the S&P, so followed suit. The NASDAQ 100, we hit our loss limit right there at the end of the day, still in the green, but when we hit that, we pull it. Now, of course, it did not close below it. We did touch it. You could stay in if you want to for your practice trade, see which way it goes. Again, we've learned in the past what typically happens. We haven't gone to red on the STC. We're right there at the loss limit, actually penetrated it just a little bit, didn't close there. But again, we like to keep it simple. So whatever, if you're not going to do that, then come up with your reasons for it, track it, see what you learn from it. When we look at where we are on the 2-day, again, we can see where it actually went into a red spinning top, still in the green on the STC. On the weekly, you could see there we were below the 200 EMA. We talked about that being a potential, not a non-starter, but something to pay attention to. On the weekly, we've moved through the 200 EMA, but you can see where this week, starting off week, although that STC heading up nicely still at this point, so there may be some recovery as time moves along. Let's look at where we are on 20-year bonds. Well, as we look at the half-day chart, we can see where we have pushed up through the 200 EMA, and then for the course of the day, it was down 1.40%. We have two dojis there for the day. Went to red in the morning, then back to green in the afternoon. Look at the two, that was on the STC. Look at the 2-day, still well below the 200 EMA. And again, we see where it's slacking off some, still in the green on the STC. As far as the weekly goes, it's also way below the 200 EMA. But again, trying to head up, green candles starting the week, but below the 200 EMA. Now remember, these are Heikin Ashi candlesticks, means average pace in Japanese, so that's what it's tracking. It is measured differently than your typical high open, low close. With a typical candlestick, we have a great training. I'll put it at the end of today's show notes on the at the end of today's show. It'll be an attached video. And hopefully, if you're interested in Heikin Ashi candlesticks, which we all should be, we've got a great training on that. I think it's the most popular training we've ever done. A couple of 100,000 people have watched that. So hope you get a lot out of it. Now, see where we are on gold. Gold was another one. Again, pulling back on us in the morning. Now, again, started off weak almost immediately. Green spinning top did hit did go below our loss point there. I know some of you went ahead and pulled the trade all the way back on Friday morning. Popped up a little Friday afternoon, but then we were out by Monday morning. Overall down for the day 1.72%. Still green on the STC flat there. We look at where we are on the 2-day. We were pushing through the 200 EMA. Now it's popped back below it just a little bit. We'll see where things go. Is gold going to turn around and start heading down? It's possible. Maybe it's just digesting some of those prior gains. We look at where we are on the weekly. It's still above the 200 EMA, in the green on the STC, but again, not reaching those highs of last week with that down movement. On the day on Monday, just weak across the board, everything down. Lastly, we go to Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin? Well, we're going to have to stretch this out for you to see much of anything. It is, of course, below the 200 EMA. On this half-day chart, we can see where things just sort of pounded down, shifted back and forth, and meandering up some over the last few days for the day. Today, down 0.93% at the end of the day as we look at these bigger charts. And hopefully you had a chance over the weekend to watch or listen to Charting Cryptos and Commodities. We had a fair bit to say about where we were, but we look at where things are now, again, trying to track up some, but and the STC has gone into the green, but still, after all of this strong down movement, we're pounding up to about the same point, about the same high over the last 3 weeks. We'll say, last 3 two-day candles. We look at where we are over the last 3 weeks. Of course, we encompass, again, pounding actually a little lower 2 weeks ago than we were when that first big week of down movement hit. And then we look at last week, red spinning top. This week, even though down for the day, we can see where the average pace goes with the high open, low close, and how it's calculated on the Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, giving us a green candle. But again, Bitcoin and the whole crypto space still struggling mightily. We'll wait till things sort out, till the signals sort out, till we start getting some good, accurate reads on things. We'll continue, no matter what, following Bitcoin for you so that we're able to chart this and track it on any recovery efforts. That's where we are, folks. Always love to hear from you. CW at Charting Wealth. We appreciate you. We love to hear from you. And stick with us each and every day, day in and day out. CW at chartingwealth.com. I don't think I added the .com on there. All the best. God bless from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.